Okay, hi. I think we're live now. Let me know if you can hear me, and if you can't hear me, let me know. So on the thumbnail, you saw me with hair. Right now, I've shaved it all off. I just got fed up of it. It started looking wiry and unkept. So who we got in at the moment? I think Emma's washing up, but she'll be back. Mark and Rosa are here. Hi, my friends. Nice to see you. And we've got Mike and Teresa in the house too. Hi, thanks for joining. I know you haven't seen me for a while. I'm not sure what the lag is, but it's looking like about 15 seconds. So I'm talking about 15 seconds before you see it. Hello, Chris. Thanks for joining. Nice to see you, mate. Hi, Janice. Thank you. Thanks, Janice. And Charlie's in the house. Hi, Charlie. How you doing, mate? Nice to see you. Yeah, 10k. It's been a long time coming, but I got there. Yeah. I tend to pay a lot more attention to views now, how many views I get. I think the biggest metrics are the number of views you get and also the engagement, you know, the amount of watch time you get per video. So I think that's got something to do with it. It certainly has a lot to do with it, I think. It's telling me there's something wrong with the resolution. Oh dear. I'm leaving it. I'm not messing with it. Yeah, 10k. Took me long enough to get there. Do you see me all right? Is the video quality okay? As long as you can see me, it's not important. I won't be doing much in terms of showing you around the internet. So I've been wrapped up in I'm still wearing this shoulder thing, and it straps down here under my moobs, and it's kept me inactive for a while. It's why I've got 3 chins at the moment. Oh, okay. 3 chins because I sat around doing nothing. I'm getting fatter. And I was getting so fit from working in the garden, and then my shoulder went and popped. Just my luck. Oh, Patrick's in the house. Bang goes the neighbourhood. Yeah, he's in the People's Republic of Victoria. Hi, mate. Yeah, so. Hi, Will. Nice to have you here, mate. Thanks for joining. Yeah, 10k. It's been a long time coming. All saying hello to each other. That's good. I'm sure you've got a few questions for me. I haven't really thought much of a format for this, apart from just quick fire Q&As. So if you've got some questions you'd like to ask, you can ask about my shoulder and things like that. But there's things we don't discuss because that'll get us shut down. Right, I'm having a quick sip of my tea. Oh, lovely. For those of you in the world that don't drink tea, you're missing out. Us Brits are addicted to it. I think Aussies like their tea as well. Right, okay, Patrick, that's a fair one. How long before my next video? Right, having this problem means that I can't really sit at a computer for any great length of time doing things like edits, because it just locks up and it becomes very painful. So I am deliberately trying to keep it moving, which in itself can be painful, but it's getting less and less, you know. But when it first went wrong on me, it was excruciating. It was absolute agony. Couldn't do anything. Couldn't put my pants on without agony. It was really that bad. It was dreadful. But I'm kind of okay now. So how many we got on? We got 12 concurrent viewers. I've got 8 likes, so thanks for those. The likes help us a lot. Who we got here? We got Janice is in the house. Patrick's in the house. Maru's in the house. Hi Maru, up there in Finland, I believe. Susan Hurd. Hi Suze. Ex-Brit Aussie doesn't like tea. Lovely. Hope you got plenty of good coffee there. Emma's back from doing a washing up. Thanks, Emma. Mike, what did happen? Well, many years ago, I had a dirt bike accident. I came off and I bust my ankle and I bust my shoulder at the same time. And that was pretty bad. I was hobbling around for a few weeks there, pretty bad. And I remember I was in the army at the time, and I went to see the army doc, and she said to me, it'll heal up. You can pin it, or you just build muscle around it. So, being the kind of guy I was back then, I put muscle around it. But she said you're going to feel it at the other end of your life. And that's very true. So, and I don't know. Maybe it was just I caught my elbow. I fell as I went down the stairs, and I arrested the fall by grabbing onto something, and it just yanked it and hurt it a lot. Thanks, Maru. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. So that's it. So I'm thinking of doing a series of video shorts. I know Mark and Rosa asked me to give them an update on the garden. I think I'll do a couple of video shorts on the garden, but they'll be on the gardening channel. Yeah. And maybe I'll just do a couple of video shorts in the kitchen as well. The good thing about those is they're quick. They're under a minute. They'll keep me in touch with you, and they don't require an awful lot of time sat at the computer editing. I like my videos to go out at a certain standard, and if I can't do the correct edit, I'd rather not do longer videos, at least for a couple of weeks, you know. I mean, it's been a couple of months now, and I've got movement back. It's just that if I sit with my hand on the mouse and barely moving for a few minutes, it really does kind of hurt. Yeah. I don't understand what this resolution thing is. It's got my output. Doesn't say anything about the resolution. I think it's because it's. I started off. I was on a video. I'm on a Linux computer, and the latest NVIDIA driver for my computer, it doesn't work. It works only on single screen, and I work with a dual screen setup here. So I had to knock it back to an earlier NVIDIA driver, but that doesn't seem to work with the OBS software I'm using to stream with. It works for every other reason, but instead I put it on a generic video driver for this version of Linux that I'm using, Linux Mint 20. So we'll see how it goes, but as long as I'm getting out, that's all that really matters, isn't it? So Charlie, the garden's been great. I've not been able to attend it much because of the, certainly not doing any heavy lifting and shifting, but fortunately I'd done most of that at the point where my shoulder went cronk. So short of really just, I've been going around diligently spraying the leaves to keep the aphids down with neem oil and soap, because I won't use pesticides. I won't use any crap like that. But I've been getting, and I'm about to get covered in an avalanche of tomatoes of various kinds, because I went absolutely nuts and I put every kind of tomato I could out there, and I was gifted a few tomato plants from neighbours that side and that side, so quite a lot. I've been fairly heavily attacked by insects. I got these green grubs going around munching all my kale and a few other things, and I've had a pretty bad aphid attack, but we've kept that pretty much in check with the neem oil spray. Where are we now? There. So that answers your question, Charlie. It's going despite all these. I've had a few nice green beans. I really do love all kinds of green beans, runner beans, French beans. And I've got some little snow peas, or what we call mange tout peas. They're really nice. Plenty of herbs. And I've even finally managed to get dill growing. It's been a real... Oh, thank you very much, Mike. That's very generous of you. You don't have to do that. That's very kind. Thanks. I started in 2016, in October 2016, and I've just pipped it in the middle of... actually, it was in the second week of August, of 2021. So, what's that? Just short of 5 years. Just short of 5 years, Mike. Yeah. Other questions? Where are we? Thanks, Emma. Yeah, I've sent Emma a few pictures, and I've been putting pictures up on the Facebook. I know that some of you are in touch with me on Facebook. And Mike and Teresa have just joined me on Facebook. Patrick's been with me. Emma's been with me for a while, and Charlie's just joined me from Pickles Barbecue. By the way, if you've got a channel of your own, put an X now in the chat so others can see that you have a channel, and then they can go and find you and sign up and give you some love. Let's hope that happens. So put an X now in the chat. Right, let me just look at some of the questions. Yeah, it's been a massive transformation, really. A massive transformation, incredible. And at first it was an awful lot of work. Chris asks if I've been able to get out and about, or has the shoulder been too bad? Driving is very difficult. I do drive because I've got no choice but to go shopping some days, so I tend to go out drive, but it's only a short local trip. Get the shopping. That's always a bit of a challenge with the shoulder. But yeah, I can, and it's getting better. but I don't expect to be going riding on the trike anytime soon. Yeah. Compost tea. No, I don't drink that, Patrick. My garden likes it though. It's the garden really flourishes on the compost tea. The idea with the compost tea is you can actually put aerated compost tea because it's aerobic. You can put it all over your leaves and everything, so you can actually it does your leaves good, and it drops down, goes into the soil, and it fills your soil with the good microbes. And I'm using a no-dig method that I learned from my friend Emma here, where you don't dig up the soil, you let the soil become an environment. Yeah, it's been really, really good. So, I don't get out and about very much at all. I'm being kicked around financially as well because of the current situation. So it's a struggle, you know, to be able to afford things at the moment. But we're getting through it, you know. And in less than 2 years now, I retire, and I'll be a lot better off when I retire because I got army pension, and I'll have YouTube income as well, and all that all add up along with my my old age pension. Yeah, I can't believe I'm talking about pension. Emma says Toms have started to ripen fast. Yeah, I got a little clutch of indigos. They're about the size of a ping pong ball. And I got a nice clutch of them today, and Richard even liked them, and he's not much of a tomato man, but the flavour on them is like burst. It's burst of gorgeous flavour on them. I love those ones. They're the indigo ones. It's a small tomato, but it grows on an indeterminate on a vine rather than a bush tomato. Oh, you got some fermented cherry tomatoes on. Excellent. With basil and garlic. Yeah, nice. Nice with dill as well, I think. But probably better dill goes in when you actually can them after they've fermented. So if you look, Mike's put an X next to his name, so that's his channel name, Mr. Full Stop Cast Iron. And it's a great channel, boys and girls. Go there, learn lots about. If you've got any black iron at home to cook on, that's the channel you need to be on. He'll show you how to cook some great dishes and how to care for your black iron as well, which is very important. There's not many channels out there that do it that well on cast iron, but Mike really knows his stuff. Janice. You rely on. I bet you can cook well, Janice. If you spend that much time learning to cook, you're going to be a good cook by now. I'm sure you are. Compost tea makes your hair grow back. Yeah. I wish it could grow back dark like I used to have. Good head of dark hair. That was back when I only had one chin. Yeah, I'll definitely save seeds on the indigo, yeah. They're gorgeous. They're kind of... I don't think mine have come out as dark as the ones in the picture for indigos, but they're a nice sized one. And they're a kind of maroon colour. Browny end of maroon at the moment, but they're delicious. They just burst with gorgeous flavour. You can pop a whole one in your mouth and just go nuts. Yeah, dill has been really loath to grow in my garden, Charlie. I tell you, it really has been difficult, and I wish it did grow like a weed because I love it, you know, in my pickles and stuff. But my cucumbers, nah, they've been a bit meh, you know, and because I'm a complete newbie gardener, I didn't put enough vines down. I didn't with runner beans. I didn't with any of my beans. I'll know next year, but this year's been more of a learning curve and seeing what will take and what won't. I'm also going to severely limit the number of species I grow next year. I'm going to have fewer items in number, but hopefully with a more abundant harvest. That's the idea anyway. And my soil is just going to get better and better and better each year. Rather like I've learned a lot from Emma here. Emma's taught me a lot, and I've also done an awful lot of research on tinterwebs. Yeah. Patrick's asking me about a wig. How about a wig? I'm not into them, and I think there's a lot of like TV characters and politicians, especially in the United States, that seem to like wigs, but to me, don't like them. They always look like they're a dead gerbil on top of your head, and I don't like them. Not for me. I'll be more like, what's his name? What was his Kojak? Telly Savalas or Baldy Locks. I'll be happy with that. Anybody got any more questions? We're 20 minutes in. I'm not sure how long I'll be at this tonight, but it'll be until this gets creaky. Yeah. Yeah, you can't beat cast iron. You can't beat cast iron for cooking. I love soups and stews done in cast iron. Karen's in the house. Hi Karen, thanks for joining us. Charlie's got garden's a complete mess this year. Weeded for days and days. Clean as a whistle left. It's the gardener's lot, Charlie. It is. You're either breaking your back pulling weeds up, or you're battling insects who are trying to eat your food before you do. Incredible. Well, I've got these little green we get these white butterflies here. I don't know if you get them in the States, or in Canada, but they're terrible. They come in, they flutter around like they own the place, and they lay their eggs on the underside of your leaves, and then when you're not looking, the green grubs come out and munch everything in sight. Yeah. Emma uses a no dig method on a garden, so her soil just gets better and better and better each year, and each year it gets more resistant to pests and pestilence. Yeah, that I'm about to fall under an avalanche of tomatoes, Charlie, because I've planted too many, and it looks like they're all ripening round about the same time, particularly the bush tomatoes. So I've got quite a few of these little, they're called mini bell, tiny little things, tomatoes, and they're all going to ripen round about the same time. So I think I'll be doing some tomato canning videos, both as tomato sauce, like a puree, a passata, and also I particularly like some tomatoes I can get commercially that are Bulgarian, and they are like Italian plum tomatoes, and they I think they ferment them, and then they sit them in huge jars of brine, and I want to do something similar to that with my glut of tomatoes, I think most of it though will probably go to be made to be canned as sauce, because it takes less room. You can get a lot more into less room, and I don't have much freezer real estate, so I'm just gonna have to do it that way. Yeah, tomatoes. I mean, some of the most amazing simple things I've done with, like the Italians and the Spanish do with tomatoes. I mean, in Spain, it's a starter. They'll give you some a good bread that's toasted, you know, like a sourdough bread, and they'll toast it, a big thing, and then they just at the table they rub it with garlic. Raw garlic, and then they just mash the tomatoes on top and eat that as a starter, and it's absolutely gorgeous, really is. Just toast and garlic and tomato. Yeah, it does. It cans well. Yeah, Emma does more freezing than I'll be able to, but and also Emma's got a commercial type of dehydrator. I don't have that. I can dehydrate pretty effectively in my fan oven. It's an electric fan oven which I can turn very low. That's quite good. It's quite effective. And the other one is my air fryer, my new air fryer, the one with racks in it. That's really good. And just put it in there, set it 4 hours, and walk away. So I'll be able to do some drying. That's a good point. Tomato powder. Oh yeah, dehydrate it instead of dehydrating it and saving it in slices, because it'll pack down into powder, won't it? Yeah, that's a good idea. I can bag that. Yeah, good idea. Thanks, Charlie. Tomato avalanche. Janice says, work your muscles. Currently use a walker. Physical therapy needs support. Bones, joints, discus. You wish you had known it before. If you're having a lot of problems with inflammation, the answer's probably poking up through your lawn, dandelion flowers. So you pick them, you can dry them and use them in teas. They're really, really good. Dandelion flower is excellent, and so's stinging nettle, very good for inflammation. Another one is garden plantain, common plantain, or the broadleaf plantain, or the longleaf ribwort plantain. They're excellent for, you just make them into teas and just chop them up and put them in your soups and stews. Really good for inflammation. It's been good for me. Love it. And nettles, so tasty, delicious. The reason they got stings in them is because if they didn't, the animals would just murder them. Pizza sauce, yeah. Well, I would just whiz up everything, skins and all. Me, I don't like skinning things. Mark says, plant onions, marigolds, radishes around your brassicas. Cabbage moths hate the scent. Marigolds. Marigold's quite useful, isn't it? It's calendula. Is that calendula marigolds, Mark? And radishes. Well, there you go. Oh, thanks, Pinky. Thanks, and thanks for joining us. Where are we at? I'm catching up. I've got to scroll down. I'm not very good at this. Sliced, yeah. Emma likes that sliced tomato and raw garlic. Emma has she likes to eat just raw garlic bulbs. It's all right. You're not kissing anyone except someone else who eats it, right? Nothing like homegrown tomato. There's nothing as good. Nothing as good. What sold me on it and this whole gardening thing was eating the food at Emma's. While I was there for that couple of weeks I was there in 2019, round about this time, I noticed I was eating about a third of what I eat here, and I never felt hungry. And it's because it's nutrient dense food, and it's just grown with love in that big garden there. Hi Longs, thanks for joining us, and thank you. Where are we at? Dandelion green, yeah, they're good. A little trick I learned from an old guy years and years ago was to invert a plant pot with a hole in the bottom over your dandelion as it's growing, and it'll grow fairly tall towards the light at the top, and it'll blanch it so it won't be quite as bitter, and it really does make delicious delicious salad greens, and the root as coffee, I tell you, is fantastic. Dry the root, clean and dry the root, I mean cracker dry, and then grind it into a coffee. I swear it really is good. It's got a kind of very satisfying nutty flavour, almost like similar to fresh hazelnuts kind of flavour like that, but more coffee like, and really I could drink it every day, all day. I really do love dandelion coffee. It's great. Yeah. And the way things are going, coffee will be too expensive to buy. We'll all be drinking dandelion coffee. Yeah, stinging nettles, fantastic. I mean, dandelions and stinging nettles, right there. These are things that people chop up and throw in the rubbish. Yet they're so good for you. They're so good for you. Hi Will, thanks for joining us. Dried tomatoes. Doreen, hi Doreen. Thanks for joining us. Charlie, I'm not exaggerating, it is really good. Really good. If you want to look up, do you know Emmy Made in Japan? Have you ever seen her channel? If you look up dandelion coffee and look at Emmy Made's, but I mean, she's gorgeous and charming. She's a lovely channel to watch. I love her videos, and she shows how to make it, and it's really good. The first place I ever had it was at Emma's place in Nova Scotia, and I was gobsmacked. I'd always thought during my life, I had a German stepmother, and she told me that they would have ersatz coffee made out of dandelions, and she always led me to believe that it was rubbish, second class, but it's not, and nothing could be further from the truth. It is absolutely gorgeous, really is nice to drink, and it's so good for you, so good for you. Antioxidants, got antibacterial, anti-carcinogenic properties, amazing stuff, and particularly good for men of a certain age like moi. Yeah, it's right. There's a lot of guys going out on the garden spraying it with that awful stuff, that glyphosates. They're spraying their dandelions, and they're walking around with stiff legs, bad backs, and bad joints, and they're destroying the very thing that can help them, that can stop them from getting inflammation. Seriously, and the flower of dandelion is like 140 times better for you than the rest of the plant. So catch them. The reason they're that beautiful colour and they're smiling and big and orange and gorgeous and sunlight is they're trying to get your attention. That's why they look like that. And that's why the nettles sting you. They want to get your attention. It's a tragedy that people destroy them. It's the answer to a lot of people's problems. Mark's got a gallon of aromas already in the freezer. 5 or more gallons, and then do up sauce in. Yeah, well, that's the way, isn't it? Batch. I've got this big 16 litre batch stock pot. I can just do it all in that. Travelling Memories, thanks for joining us. Shah C. Shah has been with me since almost the beginning of my channel. And it's lovely to see you here, Shah. Yeah, it is a pity. There's a lot of things that people see as weeds that are actually quite good for us. I think there was certainly a problem in a few hundred years ago, because the sort of people that would sit in the woods and make these potions were all burned to death on the stake as witches. So to a certain extent, it was the skills were driven underground or totally eradicated in some cases. Oh, thanks for the thumbs. Yes, please, thumbs up, boys and girls. Hi, Lisa. Nice to see you here. Thanks for joining us. What is that question, Charlie? Where's the first place I would want to travel to when you get the chance? There's a few places I'd like to go in the world. I'm not sure I'll get much chance at the moment because of the current situation, but a place I want to go back to is, I'd like to go back to Emma's in Nova Scotia. I'd like to go back and visit my dear friends in Trinidad. I've always wanted to go to Vietnam, always, for a long time. I'd like to do Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia and Thailand. I'd like to go around all those and spend a couple of months doing that, maybe 3 months, and maybe will when I retire, depending on the situation in 2 years' time. But we shall have to see. I don't want to mention that word because that gets videos banned. Yeah, there are a lot of important skills that need to make a comeback, especially now. I think people are becoming a little less trusting of the establishment over this last year and a half. I think people are in general being a bit more suspicious of the establishment, and there are some things that we can do that are simple to improve our lives, and things like dandelions and nettles are two big ones. I mean, it's not that nettles are hard to pick, but they're hard to pick, hard to process while they're stinging, but the benefit you get from them far outweighs the difficulty you have processing them and harvesting them. Years ago, I used to make nettle beer. I used to make whole kegs full of it. I didn't have any idea how good it was for me at the time. It was just rather pleasant. It was a bit like a homemade ginger beer. Very tasty. Swinging to Maine. Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that'd be. I think that's not going to happen for 2 years. I don't have the financial wherewithal to travel at the moment, and I'm not likely to until my pension comes in. I've got a current pension, but that's absorbed at the moment. Thanks, Emma. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, Vietnam. It's mostly the food and the full food culture, because it's such a hot country. Everyone eats outside anyway, and the street food culture out there is, from what I've seen on Mark Wiens and other similar videos. If you're a foodie, you should be watching Mark Wiens, because he's amazing, and the places he goes, amazing. I really would like to go. Has anybody got any more questions they'd like to ask me? We're 40 minutes into it. Chicago. Sorry about the pregnant pauses. I can't think and do at the same time. I'm not multitasking. Canada's lovely. It's a beautiful country. I've been to Alberta, British Columbia, and Nova Scotia so far. I've flown into Gander, Newfoundland, and Goose Bay, but that was just a stop en route to Alberta. The only other place I've been in the States is I've been to New York. I've been a couple of times to New York, and I did a trip over I was in '76 when it was 19. I was temporarily stationed in Medicine Hat, near Medicine Hat, and we took a trip over the border into Montana, which was quite an education. Oh, Maple Cook's here. Hi, mate. Nice to meet you. Maple Cook's got a great channel as well. Great fun, and it's very entertaining. Very entertaining, and I like his video editing as well. It's really good. Patrick's Paddy Joe Cooking. He's got an excellent channel as well. It appears that he does these kind of happy accidents, but I just think he's a good cook. He just seems to know what to put together to make things rather good, and I really like his videos. So check out Paddy Joe Cooking as well. Thank you, Maple Cook. Come to Arkansas. Yeah, I'd love to. That'd be lovely. Yeah, thank you. Maybe after I retire. So I'm going to have to do this big trip, aren't I? I'm going to have to go stateside and then sweep up and spend a couple of weeks in Nova Scotia. That would be lovely. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome for the plug, mate. It's all right. I tell it like it is. I don't support channels I don't like. I try to watch everybody's videos, but there just isn't time to watch all of them. So what I tend to do is I'll have 4 or 5 tabs open. I'll let them play, and then I'll always try and comment. That's it. I'm coming now, Mike. if you're frying bacon. That's he said the word, the BACON word. Yeah, it'll be the Lazy Cook International Tour. Lazy Cook goes west. And then Lazy Cook goes where goes east, goes far east. That has to be done, doesn't it? Really, I'm going to do so many things after I retire. I'll probably be knackered by then. Yeah. Bacon in the air fryer. Yeah, there's the grease you collect at the bottom from an air fryer. It's a bit more pure. It hasn't got so many bits in it. I don't know if it's just because all the bits catch on the grill and it drops down to the bottom. Everything's better with box powdered cheese on it. That's wrong, and you know it is. It's wrong. Yeah. Oh dear. So, is there any food you've had that you thought you wouldn't like but were surprised how much you did? Yes. I can think of several things in my life. While I was in Bathurst, which is the place in Canada, British Army Training Unit Suffield, it was I was part of the support troops, and we went there for the whole summer season, training season. And one guy used to come in the Dress Club, which was like a Canadian Defence Research establishment, and it was the club there for the civvies and personnel that worked at the Dres. And this one guy came in, and he was Cree Indian, and he used to go out on the prairie catching rattlesnakes, and he'd bring them in and cook them. I thought I wouldn't like it, but it was actually quite nice. Another thing I had was in Macau. When I lived in Hong Kong, we went on the jet boat across to Macau, and in a restaurant there I ate sea slug or sea squirt or sea cucumber, they call it. That was really nice. It was gelatinous, and most of my countrymen don't like gelatinous textures, but I do. I particularly like them, and I was surprised how much I like it. And the other thing was durian fruit, which smells like rotting flesh, but once you get it past your nose, it's absolutely gorgeous. It really is delicious. So, and there's good durian and there's excellent durian, and I think I must have had some of the excellent stuff because it was really tasty. Super. Yeah. Box powdered cheese. You're going to suffer, guys. Box powdered cheese. You are going to suffer. Maybe not this time. Maybe not at this point in your life. But later. Paddy has tasty and extra. He uses Australian cheese, but he also uses that horrible that stuff that comes in plastic sheets. It looks like plastic, tastes like plastic, and you put it on burgers. American cheese, I think they call it. Bloody horrible. I put cheddar on my burgers. Put cheddar cheese on my burgers. Porcupine. I had porcupine at Emma's. There's a video of it going back during the Nova Scotia playlist. There's a video there where we ate this porcupine, and it looked like an alien face hugger, and it was kind of meh tasting. It was we all agreed at the time that despite Emma's fantastic cooking, it was the sort of thing you will eat when you can't get meat and you need to. It's a survival food. It didn't quite make me want to chuck, but it was rather... it left a lot to be desired. Don't forget we also have vintage cheese. Vintage, yeah, I like that. I like I like the extra mature. The Canadians make some really good extra mature cheddar, the Cracker Barrel stuff and that's really good. Yeah, yeah, you've got to do durian. You should be able to get it in Vic. I would imagine in wherever there are Asians, you should find durian fruit. Vegemite, yeah, the V word. We don't like to talk about the V word on this channel. We are a Marmite channel. Marmite. Repeat after me. Marmite. My mate Marmite. Oh, hi Stephen and Jacqueline. Thanks for joining us. Excellent. Thanks very much. So, Stephen and Jacqueline have a great channel, and they just did a video on one of my favourite dishes in the whole world, and that is oil down, and particularly the Trini version of oil down. The traditional oil down came from Grenada, the island of Grenada, which is north of Trinidad in the Caribbean. I love both recipes. I first tried the Grenadian recipe because I'd read about it in Johnson Bihari VC. He wrote about it in his book Barefoot Soldier, so I thought I'd have to try it. So this was years ago. I looked up a recipe for it and kind of got into it from that. And I think my love affair with Caribbean food really kind of started then. So yeah, and since then it's all history. I've been to Trinidad a couple of times and I really do. Yeah, that brown cheese. Yeah, no, it's I know what you mean. The stuff that sticks to the roof of your mouth and it's a bit toffee like. It's not Havarti. Oh, what's it? It's not good. It tastes like some kind of rancid condensed milk, because basically it's rancid condensed milk, and it sticks to the roof of your mouth, and I think it's what you might call an acquired taste, and I haven't acquired it yet. Oh, so you got a nice garden salad tonight, Mark and Rosa. Tomato, lettuce, onion, cucumbers and carrot, all homegrown. Well, that'll be nutrient dense. You won't need much more than that, mate. That'll be gorgeous. Alma's Recipes YouTube channel. Alma's Recipes. So if you like Mexican, boys and girls, Alma's Recipes YouTube channel. I'll look that up. Alma's Recipes. Let me see if I can screen grab that. Copy. Let's see if we can do a bit of a clever one with that. That's me sub to Alma's Recipes, and let's just get you a link. There you go. I think it's there on that link. There you go, boys and girls. That's Alma's Recipes right there. Yeah. Let's do links to all my friends. Paddy Joe cooking. Yeah. Copy. This is Paddy Joe cooking. Make sure you click on these, boys and girls. That second one, Bozvelovic, that's Paddy Joe and Mr. Castellan. Make sure you put an X down so I can see to put your name. Castellan. Yeah. Copy. This one is Saltfish Accra. Lovely. Oh, I love Trini food. It's gorgeous food. Surströmming. Oh no, I can't do that. I don't think I could bear my tonsils to surströmming. I really don't. I don't. Over not put up there yet. Charlie, I need pickles barbecue. Pickles barbecue. Of course, they're always at the top of my list because the channels I watch. Pickles barbecue. Copy. This one is pickles barbecue. Boys and girls, coming up now. There you go. Who else? Who have we not done so far? Emma. This is Emma's. That's Emma's channel going up now. And cooking with Stephen and Jacqueline. One sec. And this one is specifically for the oil down recipe I told you about earlier. So if you can get yourself some breadfruit, if you can't find pigtail, I find a ham hock works just as well, but you got to cut it right up, skin and all, and then it gives a very similar equivalent to it. That's the recipe there. Just going in. Maple cook I need to do, and Emma. I've done Emma, that's right. Done Emma's link. And maple. Did I do Emma's link? Yeah, I did. Maple cook. Maple cook. And that takes you to his channel landing page, and it's right there. Right, I've done everyone now. I've done Charlie, yeah. Who have I not done? Tell me if I've not done yours yet. Castellan. I'm just scrolling back up to just check I've done you. If I've not put your link up, let me know. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, that's what we need to do. Get you guys out there. Get you guys out there. Get you guys known. Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome. Lutefisk. Oh, Lutefisk. Yeah, it's Lutefisk. It's a white fish, like a northern cod or something like that, or haddock, something like that. That's been boned and filleted, and it's been slaked with lime, in the same way that they slake hominy grits with lime. and they bag it, and then they leave it in this bag, and it turns to a kind of fish jelly. Yeah, me neither. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's a great video. It's it really is a good video. It certainly turned my head. I came back really to start supporting and coming back in a limited way now. So I'll be back supporting my friends, and so Emma's off to put the girls to bed. I hope to catch you later, Emma. And it depends what time I finish this, but I won't be on much longer now because my shoulder's starting to hurt a little bit. So I might catch you a little bit later on Facebook. What was the thing you had in Shiokara? Shiokara. What's Shiokara? Yeah, fish jelly, you know what I mean? Lutefisk. Oh, Andrew's on. Andrew Winton, thanks for joining us, mate. Thank you. Shiokara. 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 I'm very interested in that now. Shiokara is a food in Japanese cuisine made from various marine animals. Yeah. Small pieces of meat in a brown viscous paste of the animal's heavily salted fermented viscera. So it's basically marine animal guts fermented, salt, malted rice, and packed in a closed container. Wow. You know, I kind of like the idea of trying that, and I'll tell you for why. Because fish sauce, as is used all over South Asia, is excellent. It really is great. I mean, it smells like old ladies' knickers, but once you've put it in your food and cooked it, it really does perk up the flavour. And the Romans used to cook with fermented anchovies, something called garum. Garum. Yeah. Yeah, these video shorts are quite a good idea, Janice. Under a minute. In fact, a lot of people are doing them under 30 seconds. You just pop up and just show you bubbling a pot and maybe say things. So raw squid. Well, for me, I love squid, and it looks like the Japanese aren't wasting the guts. Salt. Yeah, salt and malted barley, apparently. Yeah, I think it sounds rather good. It'll probably be rather... You know, a lot of things sound not good, and then you taste them and you think, oh, you know, not bad. But then you get things like surströmming and lutefisk. Yeah, he is. He is. He's a commie saboteur from Victoria. Yeah. All right, Mike. Thanks for joining us, mate. Mike and Teresa. Big love. I'm naturally very, very sensitive to fishy odours. In the slightest hint of it makes you want to hurl. And this was like an atom bomb of it. Oh. You see, I kind of like the idea of that. I do. I like fishy odours. I really do. When they're... I suppose I don't like it when it's fresh, rotty smell. But when it's the smell of like Asian fish sauce, South Asian fish sauce, I suppose I like it because I know it's going to taste great. The People's Republic of Vic. And that woman coming on the news telling people not to talk to each other, that was chilling. That was actually Orwellian. That is... what the F? It was that do as I say or we'll throw you in the gulag look, wasn't it? Ugh, very bad. Fermented shrimp or fish paste. Yeah, it is. There's an Indonesian thing. I think it's Indonesian. Yeah, it probably is. And it's where they would go just above the tide line, dig a hole and put in a load of shrimp, bury them, and then come back to it 2 weeks later. And it had all putrefied and turned into this kind of sweet honking fishy paste. I think they call it bali chow. Yeah, the fish sauces. What? There's a thing called gentleman's relish in Britain, and it's made from salt and fermented anchovies. Also, Worcestershire sauce is made from anchovies as well. Anchovies and vinegar. The PRV. Perv. Oh dear. The topic, I think it was the one I was telling you about, the chilling one. It was a bit chilling. It was a bit... oof. Yeah, apparently they had... this is what I heard as well. They just left anchovies in vinegar for transportation, and they'd forgotten about them in a warehouse somewhere. And apparently, yeah, this is how they discovered it. And Worcester's, how he spelt it there, is very phonetic, and how you pronounce it. I've heard some people pronounce it Worcestershire sauce, and it's Worcestershire sauce, Worcester sauce. Yeah, and it really is. It really is good. Yeah, the chili one. It was. I think it was the. I think it was the Australian Health Secretary, and it was a speech she gave about masking up and don't talk to each other. But her face, it was like do as we say or you're going to the gulag kind of look on her face. It was really, really bad. It was very scary. Yeah. Yeah, it should be on that. I would think it'd be on that. You'll probably find it faster on something like Odyssey or BitChute. Yeah, it was. I'll see if I can find a link. It'd probably get me banned. Go back a few. Was pretty chilling. I mean, it was put out on the general news, on the Australian TV news, but it was the woman's face. She was like, she looked like one of those female camp guards from the Third Reich, you know. It was really chilling. I can't find it. I'm sorry. It will just take me too long. I'll be messing around too long. But I think it was the Australian health minister or someone like that talking to the Australians. Yeah, okra. I love okra, Charlie. They won't grow it. It's I think a few people have tried and unsuccessfully. But I particularly like okra. I was born in the wrong place. I like things like pigtails and okra and soul food kind of stuff. I really do. I love it. I do. I love Trini foods. Trini street food is amazing. For an island of just over 1 million people, it's unbelievable, the street food scene there. The amazing choice of really excellent street food. It is incredible. Yeah, I couldn't grow durian either. Again, that's subtropical. Let me think of other things. I haven't got enough room to grow. Yeah, Worcestershire. Lychees. Yeah, I would love to grow them. I'd love to grow lychees or rambutans. They're all very similar, sort of fleshy little. Well, how do you describe a lychee? A fleshy little fruit. Deliciously sweet and refreshing. Yeah, I do love okra. I really do like okra. I can't grow. But asparagus grows rather well in the UK for some strange reason. And raspberries, they grow well here. Yeah. Okay, I'm thinking of wrapping this up fairly soon, within the next sort of 10 minutes. So if you've been sitting out there on the fence waiting to chat, please do now, because I'm going to be scooping off. Just think about your last questions now, please, if you've any at all. Yeah. Maple Cook, you're a card, mate. You are a card. That is so funny. Fleshy and deliciously sweet. Yeah. Very nice. Just checking my inbox, just making sure that I'm still good. No, I'll probably stay here, Charlie, in the UK. In real, it's my daughter's in the UK. You know, my kids are here, so I'm not. It would be if. I don't know. I mean, I'd love to live somewhere like Nova Scotia, but it's not. I don't think it's going to be possible for me. So it's more likely I'll stay here and then travel as much as I can. Okay, Maple Cook, thanks for joining us, mate. Thank you. And I'm going to be wrapping this up in the next couple of minutes. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming along. It's been very nice seeing you all here and chatting with you. And I'm really honoured that you didn't forget about me while I was away. Thank you very much. That's really nice. And it's been really lovely chatting with you. So I'm going to wrap this up now. Yeah, there's the universal healthcare in the UK. The what we call the National Health Service, that has come under, apparently it's been under a lot of pressure for during this this crisis. I'm not going to say that word because it gets you. GB's here, mate. You come in just as I'm about to go out, mate. GB's channel, right? Let's find GB's channel. Green. GB. Yeah, I found him. Right, let's put your link to his channel right there. There you go, boys and girls. There's a link to the Green One's channel. Yeah, I'm kind of back now, Janice. It's just that I can't do an awful lot of editing. Editing means I've got to sit with my arm in a certain position for hours at a time, and it really does. You know, the mouse arm, it really does hurt. So, no worries, GB. Thanks anyway. Thanks for joining us, mate. I'm just about to sign off because I've been at it an hour and a half, and the old joints playing up. I'm gonna have to get some of that nettle tea and dandelion tea down my neck. Stop the inflammation. And I'll see you all out there on the interwebs. Much love. Thanks for coming along, and see you soon.